Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my first movie review on the movie Us by Jordan Peele. Now, I did not see his movie Get Out, so I don't know if it was connected. I know a lot of people said they kept watching it, the Get Out, before they watched this one, but I don't know if it was connected or not. I might go back and actually watch Get Out. It was a lot of hype around that too, and it was a lot of hype around this. So I went into this blind. I don't know, I didn't know exactly what was supposed to happen. I just went in and just say, okay, let me just watch this. Everybody's hyping this up, so we're just gonna see what this is about. Everybody said it was good, and I love horror movies. I love thriller movies. I love suspense movies that actually make me think. And then, like, my friends and stuff, when they were trying to buy tickets, they kept on saying, oh, this seat has been sold out. People were checking out, so it was really, really in demand. And I think, like, the first 2 days, it made, like, $80 million. So that was really good. That was really, really good. So I wanted to see what the movie was about, and I went in the daytime by myself just to see what it was about. And if you like this type of videos and you guys want to see me do more movie reviews, I will do that, but only for the movies that I actually want to see. I will not waste my money on movies that I don't care about, the genre I don't care about, or the actors or the actresses I don't care about. So yeah, so we're going to get into like the summary of the movie. So the movie began in 1986. Lupita, her name is Adeline in here, and she was a kid then. I think she was probably like around 6 or whatever. She looked like she's about that age, 6 or 7 or something like that. And she was at the carnival with her mom and her dad. And her dad, he looked like a drunk or whatever. And her mom was pretty normal. And his dad, he was playing like this carnival thing. And he won her this Thriller shirt, Michael Jackson Thriller. And her mom was like, she hoped that doesn't scare her. So I'm assuming she was like scared of scary stuff like that. So yeah, so she advised him to stop. And he was like, oh, you want me to stop winning stuff for my daughter? So he was trying to guilt trip her and stuff. So the mom asked her if she wanted to use the bathroom with her, and she said no. So the mom told the dad to make sure he watches her while she goes to the bathroom. But he didn't. He was still in his drunken rage playing like the carnival games or whatever, and the daughter wandered off. And when she wandered off in like this house of mirrors or whatever. And then like it was far away from where her dad was. So she wandered off. She was just walking through there, bumping into stuff, and then like she turned around, and it was like the back of her was like a reflection of actual her, but she was facing her reflection from the back, if you get what I'm saying. Like her face was facing her back, and then I guess something shocked her because she was just like, and then it just went back into present day. When Adeline Lupita, I'm just going to call her Lupita, she was an adult. She was married to Winston Duke, is her husband in the movie. And she has a son named Jason. And I can't remember what the daughter name was, but the boy Jason, he always have like this mask on his head, and he's always have like a lighter in his hands trying to do magic tricks. And the girl, she's pretty smart, and then she's a track star or whatever. So she's like preteen. She looks like she's around 13 maybe. Because you know how like when they get that age, I'm not old enough to have a 13-year-old, but when they get that age, she's like, you know how like they're in the middle of want to do teen stuff and then want to do adult stuff. You know, you get what I'm saying. You've been a teenager before, I'm quite sure if you're watching this. But yeah, so they're on their way to Lupita's childhood home, which is their vacation home now, because they say they haven't been there since grandma died. So it was Lupita's mother's home, and it was in Santa Cruz. So the carnival was in Santa Cruz for when she was a child. So this is like childhood memories or whatever to her. The house, it looks okay. It's like on a bay or whatever, and it actually looks like people haven't lived there in a while, because all the furniture and stuff look old. The linens look old, like they need to be washed. I know it was probably stuffy in there, but that's how it looked. So the husband, he wanted to go to the carnival, go to the beach, the Santa Cruz beach, and Lupita didn't really want to go because of what happened to her when she was a child. And then he was like, oh, the son want to go, it'll hurt him. And then like she ended up finally agreeing to actually go. So they ended up going. She was like, they have to come back before it gets dark. So they ended up going, and they ended up meeting with this white family. I guess that she was her friends like with her since childhood, because the lady was like, why did she stop dancing and stuff like that. So they known each other since she was little, because Lupita, used to be a ballerina dancer, because when they was in the house, she was just like wandering through the house and just like having memories of her being a dancer or whatever when she got like down to the basement, how she used to practice, because they had like the little bar, you know how the ballerinas and stuff do the balance and stuff. So the lady was like, why she stopped dancing and stuff, she was like, oh, she didn't know. And she was just giving the lady like short answers, and the lady picked up on it and like, well, what's wrong with you? And then she was like, nothing. And the lady, they had 2 teenage daughters too. They looked like they're like 15, 16. And then Jason was playing on the beach with them, and then he was like, he had to use the bathroom, and they told him to pee in the ocean, but he didn't want to pee in the ocean, so he went to like the little porta potties. And when he came out the porta potties, he saw this scarecrow looking man standing in the middle of the ocean water. I thought he was going to be like daydreaming or whatever, but he went over to it, and like on the scarecrow man's hand or whatever, it was like blood. So I'm like, oh, this is probably going to be significant. But so Lupita realized he was missing, and she went into panic mode, because you know how like when she wandered off at that beach, she was traumatized. So so yeah, so she ended up finding him, and she was mad. She was like, why did you wander off, and don't do that again. And it was just paranoid, and she was ready to go, which was understandable. Her husband, they just packed up and he was ready to go. And the white lady husband, her husband was a fool. He get a lady drinks talking about this is some medicine, and she would, and the people were asking the lady, so what's going on with y'all? She was like, oh, I still want to kill him. And she was like, well, I see ain't nothing changed. So they basically always going back and forth like that, and the lady can't stand her husband, and he really be getting on her nerves. But that was a fun little scene like that. So they end up going back home, and the teenage daughter, she get in the bed, and Lupita went to talk to the son Jason, telling him don't wander off like that, and how she was scared and all this stuff. She had some other, I can't remember what else she said to him or whatever. So she went in there to her husband. He was the comic relief of this movie. I was laughing more than scared from anything. But she finally ended up telling him what happened to her when she went into the fun house and why she panicked. And he was like, why she never told him. And then he was like, well, so you got like a twin or whatever? Then he's like, I'm quite sure I could take your twin out. And he was just laughing and stuff, and she was like, that's not funny. But he finally like had some kind of empathy for her. So they end up like squashing whatever like beef they had from each other or whatever. So the lights end up going out, and he was like, oh my God, at least we had a backup generator. But the generator lights didn't kick on, so I don't know what he was talking about. And he ended up buying a boat too when he first got to the house. I forgot to mention that. And then when he was at the beach, the man was asking her, did you get this? Did you get that? So the only thing he forgot was the flares. So you know how like when you shoot them up in the air for emergencies or whatever? And he forgot that. And the man was like, I knew you were going to forget the flares. But so when the lights went out, she told him to go investigate and see what was going on. He was like, well, ain't nothing going on. I'm just going to make sure the generator kick on. The generator never kicked on. So the little son, Jason, walked up to him and was like, it's a family standing outside. And then they were like, what are you talking about? So they standing outside like it was The Strangers. If you ever watched The Strangers, remember they started killing them people for no reason. They just came to the house while the people was there on their vacation. The original Strangers with Liv Tyler and that other man. I can't remember what the man name was. But yeah, so he walked outside. He was like, can I help you? So Lupita wanted to call the police. And he was like, don't call the police. We're just going to see like what they want. Now, they're standing outside. You can't see their face or nothing. And they're not responding back. So he's just basically talking to them. And was like, do you need help with anything? They're not responding back. So he went back into the house and got a bat and told her to call the police. She was like, it's 14 minutes away. And then, so he came back outside. He was like, I done asked y'all nicely to get off my property. And then he was just acting crazy. The people still they didn't flinch or do nothing. So they started walking towards them, and then they got scared, and he hurried up and ran back in the house, like with his bat. Like, so he was really scared. And then the man person ended up like forcing his way through the house. In the house, and he falling onto the ground and stuff like that. So they like backing up scared and stuff. Then the other people, they was surrounding the house, they was coming in too. So they made them all sit like down on the couch or whatever. So the little boy was like, it's us. So it was like literally them, but like a twin version of them. They couldn't talk or whatever, but one of them, the Lupita one, she could kind of talk. It was like she was living in the shadow and some other kind of stuff. She was looking in the shadow, and then she never wanted to dance. She only danced because of the Lupita person. So I don't really know what was going on with that. And then they were talking about they had to eat rabbits and all kind of other crazy stuff. So the lady made Lupita handcuff herself, and then the little girl, her twin, she was just like looking at her like she was crazy. And then the man twin took his glasses. So they was like basically about to infiltrate and being them. And the little boy, he had on like, he didn't have like a little fake mask. He had on like a real mask, like the one Kanye wore on one of his concerts, like the little cloth one. He had that one on. And it was like literally like a reflection. So when the man touched his mask, the real boy touched his mask, the fake one touched his. When he lifted it up, they was lifting it up together. When he back up, he back. So it was just like basically like a reflection of each other. And then the girl, she had them put her track shoes on, because mama told her to put track shoes on when all the stuff started happening. And then the fake Lupita told her to run. So she went and ran. And then the girl gave her a head start or whatever. So she ended up catching up with her by this car. And this white man came outside talking, hey, what are you doing on my car? And then he came walking towards her. So she ended up like killing him. And the other girl, she ran like back to the house or whatever to try to figure out like what was going on with the mama. And then the daddy, he was trying to kill his person, but his person was getting the best of him, and he ended up running to the boat or whatever. The man knocked him off the boat. They was fighting like that, and then he had ended up like get him caught on the motor or whatever. He ended up like chopping him up, so he was dead. The little boy, when they went into the closet or whatever, the real little boy, he like trapped the other boy in the closet. And then like when we seen in the closet, when they lifted up their mask, the boy had like a half burnt face for him, like I guess playing with them lighters and stuff. So he didn't kill him though. And then so they end up like fighting or whatever, getting in the car. The fake Lupita, she didn't get killed. Okay, so the only one that killed their twin was the daddy. So they went like getting weapons and stuff. Like Lupita, she got like the little fireplace thing, you know, the little long metal thing. She ended up breaking her handcuffs off, finding the son, finding the daughter. They ended up running to the white people house. So the white people house, they lights went out too. So the mama was scared too. So she told her husband to go check on the generator. He didn't even want to get up. He was just sitting down drinking his alcohol, acting a fool. When he was like, oh yeah, somebody's out there. So he was just playing and stuff. But come to find out, somebody really was out there. Because soon as he turned around, the daughters, the teenage daughters, they were standing over the balcony telling them to be quiet or something like that. And her mom was telling them to go back to sleep, go back in the room. She was like, just because we're in the room, we're not sleeping. As soon as they said that, they twin ended up killing them. Then the mama ended up getting killed. And the daddy, he ended up getting killed too. And the mama was crawling or whatever. They was playing like I Got Five on it. They was playing like Fuck the Police. They were playing like a lot of music like for their little death scene. Because they had like this little, you know how like you play Alexa, play so and so how, just play the music. But they had some other kind of, I think it called Amelia. They had some other thing. So when Lupita made it to their house, she had a little thing. But then as soon as she knocked on the door, she realized it was the fake person. So they end up dragging her in there. One of the people ended up dragging her in there. And the son and the daughter, they both picked up a weapon. And the dad, he ended up trapping the fake white daddy out on the boat and ended up killing him like with the flares. So he actually, I guess he went back and bought the flares since the man had told him he forgot the flares. And it actually did come in handy. So he ended up killing the white daddy. So Lupita, she was handcuffed in the room with the fake white mama. And the daughter, the black daughter, her and the son Jason, they ended up killing two of the fake daughters. And then they was going through the house trying to find their mom. And then when the fake mama was looking, the fake white woman was looking out the window, The daughter tried to hit her with the thing, but it didn't hit her. So the son come in and ended up killing her. And I'm like, these children are going to be traumatized from all this murder and crazy stuff. But they ended up unhandcuffing the mama. And then they was trying to get into the car to try to like drive off or whatever. But they went all outside and forgot the keys. So Lupita went back in to get the keys. And she went back in. One of the people that they thought was dead, one of the daughters, she wasn't dead. So she tried to attack Lupita. And then Lupita ended up killing her and getting the keys or whatever. And they got in the car. And when they got in the car, the daughter wanted to drive. And they really didn't want her to drive. But the daddy's leg was messed up. And then like when they were standing out there arguing, the fake Lupita, the fake daughter was coming towards them. So the girl ended up like hitting her, ramming her, and she didn't die. She was like on the roof and stuff. And then they ended up jamming on brakes and she flew into the bushes. And then Lupita went to go check on her. And she was just like hanging upside down. Couldn't really say anything. And then she just ended up just dying like that. So they ended up driving like up the coast. And they went back to the carnival site. And everybody's there was like holding hands or whatever, just like one little line of fake people. You know, a lot of chaos and stuff. The ambulance was there because when they first went to the boardwalk, the Santa Cruz Carnival that day, somebody was getting into the ambulance. They were pushing some man in there, and she was telling them not to look. So that same ambulance was still there. So so they went there, and when they saw all that, they saw like one of the kids, the fake son, he was like standing in the middle of the roadway when their real car was on fire. And the real son, she was like, oh, the car's on fire. So Lupita, they ended up stopping the car, and Lupita got out to go walk towards him. And the fake son, he was like, it's a trap, because he saw the gasoline on the ground. It was leading right up to the car. So when they got out of the car, the real son, he was backing up. And like I told you, it's like a reflection. So while he was backing up, the fake son was backing up too. But as he was backing up into the fire. And the Lupita, she was like, no, 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 no. And he was getting like burnt up or whatever. And then while all that was happening, the fake Lupita snatches the real Jason. And so they end up taking him down to some thing of House of Mirror thing where Lupita went when she was a child, but it was some stuff that was underneath that as well. So it was like, I don't know, basically a thing of cloned people. So everybody who was like on the top of the world, they were cloned down underneath. So it was like all the fake people that was cloned down underneath. But on top of the world, the real people were actually like dead or whatever, because their clone like took over. So the son, the daddy, he couldn't like really do anything. So him and the daughter got into like the ambulance to wait for Lupita, because he was like, well, she know what to do. So he was just so scary. He ain't like do anything to like try to stop her or like go try to help her to get his son back. So she went through. And she went through this. She finally found the fake her. And they were like talking and stuff. And she found her like writing on this chalkboard. And she was like, that's when she revealed that she didn't want to do any of this stuff. She didn't want to marry this guy. She didn't want to live this life. But she had to because of her. And then they started fighting and stuff. And they end up like, they started fighting and stuff in like this padded room or whatever that had like bunk beds and stuff. Looked like it was like a hostel or something that a lot of people can sleep in. And they end up fighting. The fake Lupita, she was getting beat up. And the real Lupita, well, the real Lupita was getting beat up. The fake Lupita was getting the best of her. And somehow the real Lupita started winning and stuff. And then after she like beat her and finally like killed her, she heard her son like moan or whatever. And she found him like stuffed in a locker. So they end up hugging and stuff, and then coming out and finding the dad and the daughter inside the ambulance. And they end up like driving off or whatever. But as they were driving off, Lupita was getting these flashbacks. So she got the flashbacks. It went all the way back to her when she first was adopted. So when she was adopted, well, not really adopted, because she walked into, when she wandered off and when she went to the house of horrors, when she was shocked because it was her real reflection had turned around and saw her, and the lady, the fake one, choked her and took her out and started living her life. So when she got back into the car with her parents, when she couldn't say anything because she couldn't talk, it was because since she was a clone, the clones can't talk. So they end up taking her to therapy and all that stuff and all that, and trying to get her back normalized. So when they took her to therapy and all that stuff, that's how she learned how to talk and communicate like a real human. But nobody knew that she was the fake person. So she was, all this time she was living her life as the real Lupita when she was actually the fake one. And the reason why the fake one couldn't talk when they were like trying to talk to her is because I guess when she choked her, she messed up her voice box or whatever. So she couldn't talk. So none of the clones could talk. When they talk, it just sounded like very like raspy, like they're trying to get like words out or whatever. So she was having like flashbacks of her. And then the little son, he was on the passenger side. So when she was just looking at him, she was looking at him like, and he just started smiling. So I think at that point she realized that he was the fake one too, because when she got back, he never said anything. He never talked in the van. He never said thank you mom, thank you dad, say anything since he got back. And then they was just looking at each other smiling and stuff. That's why I believe she knew that he had done been switched out and he was the fake one. So when she was saying no, 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 when the fake one was backing up into the fire, I think she thought that that was the fake one and the real boy was the clone. But somehow they end up getting switched. So I don't know. And then it was significance with these rabbits. You know how like they're cloned and stuff. And then the lady was like they was eating rabbits and stuff. So they kept flashing to like cage rabbits or whatever. So I guess the government was experimenting with cloning. I think that was the significance of it. The other stuff, I didn't really get. The whole point of the movie, I didn't really get. But it was suspenseful. I didn't expect it to end like that. I really didn't know what to expect because I didn't know I didn't have any expectations coming into this because I had no idea what it was going to be about. But that was like a little quick recap of what happened. And then I know a lot of people was like confused by the ending, but oh yeah, they was holding hands throughout the entire world or whatever while they was driving, because they was just driving. So I don't know. So yeah, if you like these type of videos, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions or concerns, don't forget to leave it down below. This was Jordan Peele's movie Us. This was my recap and review. I thought the movie was okay. After out of 10, I'd probably give it like, I don't know, a 6 because I was confused. But the acting in this was spectacular. The visuals, everything was really, really good. Lupita did a really good job in this movie. Even down to the kids. Like when they were killing people and stuff, it was just like they've been killing people all their lives. It was so weird. And they weren't traumatized or anything. I guess when you're in survivor mode, you can't really think about stuff like that. But yeah, it was just like, I don't know about the movie. Like, it was okay. It was suspenseful, but I don't really get the point. I think if I would have got like what was supposed to be like the plot or something, like it was literally supposed to be about, instead of leaving it to my own interpretation, I think I would have felt better about it. It's just like with The Strangers. When I watched The Strangers, I was confused too, like, because they never said why the people started killing the people. So this kind of like reminded me of The Strangers. That's just like in Juice with Tupac. It never said why Tupac just went crazy and started killing people. Like, I don't know, I'm a person that has to have like a reason why. I don't want to like interpret like what's going to happen with myself or what's going to happen in my own brain. I guess it was kind of like an experiment of, I guess they're trying to say the government trying to control us or clone us or something. I don't know. I really don't get the point. I just went and saw it because everybody was hyping it up. It was an okay movie, but I wouldn't spend like my $12 on it again. If it comes out, I'll probably have to rewatch it again on like DVD or something to actually like get a gist of it again. This one of these movies you got to watch more than once, because a lot of stuff probably has some significance after you see it multiple times. Because like with me, even when I rewatch old movies now, I still see stuff that I haven't seen, even if I don't watched it like 20 times. That is so weird. I still see stuff that I haven't seen or noticed before throughout the other 20 times I already watched it. I'm a Virgo and I like pay attention to detail. So when I was watching the movies, I was trying to like pay attention to everything that was going on, just to see like if it's gonna matter in the end. But a lot of the stuff, it didn't, and it wasn't really explained. Maybe I need to see Get Out to try to get his visual board, because I've never seen any one of his movies before. So maybe I need to watch Get Out to see how his writing is, and how he tried to explain things, because a lot of people said Get Out was a good movie too. But yeah, so I don't know. I left the movie confused. I can honestly say I left the movie confused. And if it comes out on, well, I'm quite sure it's gonna come out on DVD. I'm gonna have to rewatch it again just to get my brain rolling to see like what's really going on. I don't know, guys. But I think you still should see it, because it was a black horror film. This lets people know that black people can carry horror films without getting killed in the first minute of the movie. The movie Mom with Octavia Spencer comes out in May. I'm definitely going to go see that. Like I told you, I love horror. I love thriller. I'm definitely going to go see that. And I might do a movie review on that as well. I think she's a very good actress, Octavia Spencer. And I'm very interested to see how this movie plays out as well, because they played a few previews of that, and they played a few previews of some other black movies that were coming out. So yeah, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, guys. Thumbs up this video, especially if you like this. If you've seen the movie, let's start a discussion down below. What did you think of the movie? Do you think that the little son was switched out at the end, like I think? So it's like two fake them, like the fake Lupita and the fake son, but the dad and the daughter is still real. Do you think the dad and daughter would pick up? Or do you think the son will have to go through therapy and stuff like the fake Lupita did in order to get his voice back talking and stuff? Because his face wasn't burnt. Because when he lifted up that mask, the face wasn't burnt. But I think she still noticed that he was the fake one. So yeah. Thank you guys for watching me. Thank you for tuning in. This video was kind of long, but I really do want to explain the whole movie. This is like straight going off my dome. I don't have any notes or anything, so it's like fresh in my mind. If I forgot something, just leave it down, but just straight going off the top of my head. Thank you for subscribing to my channel and supporting me. I have more videos coming this week. Don't forget to subscribe, guys. Thank you. Bye.